Shifting your time is like a superpower. I always tell people, time audit, time audit, time audit. You will shock yourself and use it like it's your currency, like it's your money. You don't have endless time. Don't act like you do.
Ladies and gentlemen, Catherine Tede is a trending name in business and entrepreneurship. Catherine was recently featured in Times Square for her experience as not only a writer, but also a content creator and social media influencer. Catherine was also featured in articles like the latest rising stars of LinkedIn and top 50 creator gems. Catherine is helping entrepreneurs to build their businesses and reach their goals by utilizing social media and the power of great writing. Catherine, thanks for being on our show today. It's great to have a New Yorker on and helping our audience get to that next level.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Are you based in New York as well?
I'm not actually, but I do business in New York here and there, very, very occasionally. So,
okay.
It's always nice to talk to New Yorkers because New Yorkers are a different breed. You got to be tough. You got to be thick-skinned. So it's definitely cool to have you on our show today, telling us about yourself. And speaking of that, tell us a little bit about yourself. Anything I missed?
There's a lot to cover. I am mostly known for the writing online, though. So you covered it all.
Awesome.
I also work a 9-to-5 for a renewable energy company. We work with like Fortune 500 islands, stuff like that. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So the writing is total side hustle.
Awesome. Yeah. It's tough work, actually. Yeah. It's definitely difficult. What put you on the path to business and entrepreneurship? What made you want to get started?
Well, I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit, and really what put me on the path to the writing was having such large clients that we go after for my 9-to-5. You can't really like cold call these people. So a little pull marketing is what I thought I'd try. And it kind of spiraled on to its own thing. It grew really much faster than I thought it would, and has opened so many other opportunities, like the Times Square thing, or just anything that I've been awarded, or, all these other connections that I've met, just a ton of opportunity through it. So
in the intro of this video, you'll see I put the Times Square in there. I think that's awesome. How did you do that? How did you make that happen? What did it take to do the networking, or tell us about like that process?
It came out of nowhere. Someone from the company that posted it for me reached out and they were like, "Hey, we noticed you blowing up on LinkedIn. We'd like you to do a post for a Times Square billboard." And at first I was like, "That's odd." And they were like, "We assure you this isn't a scam." And I was like, "Well, that makes me feel like it's a scam." Yeah. But one of my friends who I'd met through the platform had actually done it like a month before, and they showed me her post about it. So I reached out to her and I was like, "Is this real?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's super easy. Like you just write a post like you'd write one for LinkedIn." That's
crazy. That's big too. That's big. That's Times Square. So
I know.
Definitely something to be proud of there. And ladies and gentlemen, take some notes. So what inspired you to start? What inspired you to start writing and start kind of getting into the LinkedIn game, the social media game? Because, today, 2024, it's a great way to make money, great way to monetize yourself, and also live a good life to where you can be free and actually do what you want. And a big thing on my channel, I'm always promoting people to promote themselves on social media and become an influencer. So tell us how anybody should go about becoming an influencer themselves if they wanted to.
Go into it knowing it's a hustle. I know you have a rather large YouTube channel. I know it didn't come overnight. Yeah. So the hustle. I always tell people if you want to grow rapidly, it's like another part-time job. I spend probably at the beginning, I spent probably 25 hours a week on top of my 40 hours a week at my 9-to-5, writing, coming up with ideas, creating, and then just networking and like engaging with other people on the platform. I know that it's a little different on each platform. I think I just started an Instagram a couple months ago, and I have been super overwhelmed with all of it. So maybe thinking about bringing on someone new to help with everything. But just go into it.
I totally feel you. Yes. Yeah. Instagram is tough. Man, it's a tough
What is
crowd on
Instagram? Like,
Instagram. It's so crazy how different each platform is. LinkedIn,
yeah,
I think LinkedIn's like the best. You can get the best
yeah,
connections. Everybody communicates pretty fast and swiftly, and you get
yeah.
the right audience. I feel like, the right people will just kind of come to you, and you'll kind of find the right people. Instagram,
Yeah.
you got to meet the algorithms. You got to just post at the exact right time. You got to post the right amount of content. It has to be the perfect content. It's got to be perfect short form. It's got to be perfect long
Right.
form. It's got to be a great high quality post. It's got to be everything. Copy is perfect. Instagram is
It's
definitely
gonna
tough.
be,
I feel like
yeah, and it's a lot of
TikTok's
luck.
pretty similar. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, it's just go into it knowing that it's going to be a hustle, no matter the platform. I agree. LinkedIn is probably, I don't want to say easier, but probably more straightforward than a lot of them. So, I don't know anything about YouTube, so I can't speak on it, but
Yeah. Honestly, at the end of every day, at the end of it, social media, no matter what the platform is, I think the biggest thing is just staying consistent, and you just have to master one at a time. I think that's the best way to get around social media today when everybody's a gladiator, everybody's in the game. So
right.
definitely. So have you ever met any big celebrities living in New York City? Because again, it's a big deal to live in New York. It's got to be expensive. It's got to be crazy expensive to live in New York. Actually, let's switch it to that question, and we'll circle back to the celebrity question.
It is extremely expensive to live here. And as far as celebrities go, I don't think I've met. I did meet someone who's like a celebrity to me. I watch Vanderpump Rules, a reality show. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I've heard of it. It's a big show today. The
Yeah.
Tom Sandoval guy, he's all over the news.
Yeah,
for his incident.
Scandal.
Yeah.
That's when I got back into it. I used to watch it in my 20s, and I was like, oh my God, these people are so cool.
My
But
mom loves the Bravo network, so she's always keeping me
gotcha.
updated on things. Yeah. So
Well, I met Ariana's new boyfriend. He's a bartender here in New York, and I met him at a party I went to. He was bartending the party. I was
no
like,
kidding. When was that?
Yeah.
When was that? That's crazy.
When was that? Last summer, maybe spring. Yeah,
Wow.
it was like right when they started dating, I think, or I don't know when.
That's insane. Look
Right
at the
when it
timing
started
too.
coming out.
Perfect. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And I asked him, and he was really sweet about it. I was like, "Are you dating Ariana Maddox?" And he was like, "Yeah," and like shrugged his shoulders, and it was really cute. But I think that's the only celebrity I've met here.
Yeah, there you go. That's cool though. That's a big show today. It's definitely trending. I mean, even I know it. I'm not much of a Bravo guy. I like my history. Yeah. I like my National Geographic. I like my war stuff. It's not really my type, but I'm informed on it. I know what Vanderpump Rules is. So yeah, it's a big show. It's definitely doing pretty well. I've watched clips of it just because my mom is always sending me stuff on Instagram. She loves that show. So I know all about it. I know all about this stuff just because my mom's a super fan of it. Ugh.
Awesome. Well, you can tell her you met someone who met someone.
That's what I'm saying. She'll like it. She'll like it. How much does a nice steak cost in New York?
Oh, God, my fiance and I just went to a engagement party, and we didn't know if there was going to be food. So we tried to find steak. I just was craving steak. We both do jiu-jitsu, so it's like protein.
Oh, nice.
And
what belt you at? What belt are you at?
I'm a white belt still.
Okay.
I started in August. Yeah. Do you do jiu-jitsu?
I do a little bit. In the academy, we had to learn a little bit. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Krav Maga. I did a little bit of, you do a little bit of Krav Maga. You do some jiu-jitsu in there. You do a little bit of Sistema. They kind of teach you a little bit of everything. So
yeah, we have a bunch of you guys in our gym.
Oh, it's the best subject control, I think, is jiu-jitsu, because you can be someone of really small size and big dude. You could take them down just by submission and just by strategy. So that's why I like jiu-jitsu the best, for sure, especially for law enforcement too.
Yeah, it's satisfying as a woman to be able to take down a big dude.
Yeah.
But we typed in like steakhouse, and the cheapest thing we could find was like $100 to $200 per person. And I was like, all right, well, don't search for steakhouse, search for like American or something and see if they have steak on the menu. But it's around 80 to 100 for a steak. This place we went to, I think it was like $50 for a steak, and it was like decent. So
Hi, everybody. My name is Brendan Ecker. I'm the founder and CEO of B2B Growth Today LLC. My marketing agency really believes in what we do. We believe in business. We believe in the American dream. And that's why I started this business, because I wanted to help other business owners just like you get to that next level. I truly believe in what we do. What makes us different than other agencies, not only are we integrating AI software and streamlining processes for our clients, but also we build a Shopify store for you. We build a YouTube channel for you. Not only that, but we develop and maintain your website. We do email marketing, we build your funnels, workflows. We'll make sure we book you 5 appointments per month, recruiting for you. We'll do it all for you. That's only if you believe in us. We also offer influencer marketing. We do event planning for businesses. We do PR for businesses. We manage your social media for you. We manage all of the difficult things in your business that require attention, and a lot of it. We give your business a turnkey system. So sign up with B2B Growth Today LLC. Let's make your life easier at B2B Growth Today LLC. Book a call with us if you like our team. See if you like what we have to offer. And let's see if we can plug in a turnkey system that's going to 10x your business, get you 5 clients per month guaranteed. At the end of the day, what's most important? Putting food on the table for your family. Making sure that you can go on a vacation and enjoy your life, explore the world, and do what you want to do as a human being. To think what you want to think about at the beginning of the day, to enjoy your life. So if you want to enjoy your life and not have to do all the work on your own, then let us take over. B2B Growth Today LLC, we will plug in our turnkey system and we will make your business a 10x business. We will make you relevant, we'll save you time, and we'll build your American dream for you. And in the end, everybody wins. So stay prudent, stay powerful, and stay wealthy. Be sure to book a call with our team below, and we can't wait to hear from you. We'll learn more about your business, how we can bring you to the next level, and how we can make sure that you're keeping food on the table for you and your family. Grow and build your American dream. Book a call below. Can't wait to learn more about you. So let's say my girlfriend and I, we want to go to New York City. How much should I have in my wallet if I want to pay for both of us?
God, how long are you staying?
That's a good question. So let's just say we're staying a weekend.
Okay. So you've got hotel. I mean, to be fair, I'm from Missouri. I have had friends come out here and say they can stay and like do all the things for really cheap. There's like really great. I mean, every food here is fabulous. There's really great like street food that's really cheap. There's really great. There are really great shows that are, on the affordable side. But if you're gonna like ball out, I don't know, like if for 2 people, like $1,000 to $1,500 a day, if you want to see like a show, or if you want to like go to nice dinners and brunch, and if you want to have like alcohol, the average cost of a alcoholic drink is $22 in Manhattan. So it's like,
wow, that's crazy.
Why?
That's insane.
Yeah,
probably just a little shot too.
Yeah, it's nothing that's special.
Man, that's nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard, there was a big interview with Kevin O'Leary, and he was talking about how it's just impossible to do business in New York City today. And I kind of agreed. What do you think? Or is there a way? I mean, I do think that social media is a great way to get around that if you can do it right.
Right. I think that the internet is abundance. You can do anything on the internet. But for me, not being from New York, I'm from Missouri, there is so much more opportunity here than anywhere I've ever lived. So I don't know if I agree. I guess it probably depends on the business you're trying to go for, though.
Yeah, I
Kevin
definitely agree.
He knows business, so I'm sure.
Yeah. I was definitely curious because that was a big interview that I had seen. So I was curious to see what you had to say. I definitely agree that New York City is a place to be. You want to be where you have the same people around you. So I think changing your geography, and if you're surrounding yourself by like-minded people, then you're going to be a good spot. If you're money hungry, New York's a great place to be. Right? Oh yeah, Wall Street's a great place to be. So everybody, and then if you're more about the camera, then you probably want to be out in Los Angeles.
Right?
So,
exactly.
Definitely. And what were you going to say? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. Even people like who are handing out tickets on Times Square or like in Broadway, and they're like handing out tickets to the comedy show. Like we took my fiance's mom to Broadway just to like walk around, and she asked for a picture with this comedian, no one we'd ever heard of. I wouldn't even remember his name, but he's like, it'll be $10. We were like,
Oh, wow.
everybody's so like commercialized here. It's so funny.
I can totally see that. $10 for a picture. Hey, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you.
Yeah. And she was like, never mind. It was so cute.
That'd be so awkward. Hey, it's going to cost you $10 for $10 for a picture.
Yeah.
I get it. You're in New York, but like I'd rather just take the picture than being like, no, never mind, we're good. So where do you see yourself kind of going in the future with everything? What are your plans for the next 10 years out?
So this is definitely a strength of mine. I didn't know I had social media marketing, marketing in general. And I can see myself strengthening that strength I already have here. I don't really know which way it's going to go. I have a lot of, there are a lot of different options with this type of thing. So we'll see, but definitely staying the course because it's easy. It's fun to me. It lights me up. So.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think you're going some big places. I see what you're doing on LinkedIn. You got a great audience that you're building up around yourself. And, I think if you just stay consistent, sky's the limit, do anything you really want. And again, the reason I like to ask, and I like to have women like you on my podcast too, is because I think it's a big deal today, is to show women that, you can get into business and you do very well for yourself. I think this is a game everybody can play. And this is a game where you can be in control of the game in many ways. You can control your life, your future. Yeah. So it's a great thing to have you on here and entrepreneurs like you on here. My girlfriend right now, she's starting to transition out of that 9-to-5, get more into the entrepreneurial life. I'm trying to teach her how to run her Etsy store and, print on demand and things like that, running ads. It's up and down, but it's cool. Like I'm trying to convince her like, no, this is the way, this is the future. This is what you should do. What would be your advice to girls like my girlfriend or any other women out there who are really thinking about maybe transitioning from the 9-to-5 or just you staying in the 9-to-5, but really maybe getting more into entrepreneurship?
Yeah, absolutely. Follow your gut. That is some of my favorite advice. Your intuition is built for you. It is accumulation of data points from your experiences, and they're not data points that come to mind at first. Like to the front of your mind. They're in the back of your mind, and that is in your gut. And if you feel like, yes, this is where I'm going, like this feels good, keep going for it. And there are a lot of ways to monetize doing what you love, especially with the internet now. Like Etsy is a great tool for that, especially if you're creative and you do physically creative things. That's like super exciting for her. But definitely, yeah. Follow that gut. Your gut knows.
Yeah, and that's what I've been telling her. I think that's great advice for anyone, male, female. Get into entrepreneurship, learn how to sell, learn how to market yourself and put yourself out there because it can definitely put you in a better position of success for the future. 100%.
Absolutely. And if you don't know how to do it, go network. Like there are a ton of people out there who love talking about it because they're good at it and they want to help. People like to help. So network.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely get further. You can go there faster alone, but you get there further with somebody else. And that's definitely what I found to be true. So 100%. Go on Google, look up some connection opportunities, some networking opportunities, and go to them. Talk to people who might be in a position where you want to be in 10 years. And it works. It works. And I think it's just the best advice because it is so life-changing. It can just absolutely put you into an entire different parallel universe if you just face your fears a little bit. And I know how, people think like, oh yeah, YouTubers and social media influencers, you got to be they're really confident people. It's like, no, I think most of it is just you're facing fears all the time. And I think you get past that on social media and then you can kind of dominate in business and anything else too, vice versa. So,
yeah, I would not call myself a confident person, but I would call myself a brave person. Just
right. It's tough.
And I'm like, well, I hope people like this one. And then they end up liking it. So it's like, okay, good.
And then you got the ones where you'll have the one person who will find a typo in there and be like, hey, I found that typo, and they just will remind you about it, or they'll just go hard on it. But
or the
usually,
trolls, and you're like, okay.
The trolls.
Yeah.
Yes. It's real. So to help combat that, Is there any books that you would suggest to people? Do you read a lot of books or do you listen to more audiobooks? What's your style?
I do a mix of both to combat like the confidence thing, or what do you mean?
Just in business, confidence, just anything in general. Give me like one great book that you just would recommend to anybody. One great book changed your life and it puts you on the course you're on today.
So I wouldn't necessarily, so I have suggested this book to many people and they've been like, no. So I wouldn't suggest necessarily this book, but I would suggest finding what language lights you up. So everybody speaks a different language. Mine, I definitely relate and am drawn to like a woo-woo type of language. I read this beautiful book called P.S. I Love Me by Gina Swire. She's a self-love coach, and it really changed my perspective on everything. But I had my sister read it, who's a physics person. She's science-minded, and she was like, this is crap. So I would say and at the end of the day, this book is just a self-help book. Find a book that relates to you. Just know what you like. I know that I like woo-woo things or, spiritual things, whatever. And find a self-help book in that category and then just add on from there and change your perspective, blow your own mind, because that's really the way to go.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the Brendan Ecker Influence Show. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to take one last moment and plug my products, Beyond the Beat, A Guide to Success from a Police Officer and Entrepreneur, and my other book, How I Made My Door in My Office, Experiences of a Collegiate Student Athlete and Entrepreneur. Both of these books are going to give you insights on how to make it through the police academy, but also how to make it through your experiences as an NCAA student athlete like me. I played football and baseball. I was pretty decent, but the only reason I was even able to play is because I had to earn it. I had to work hard. I had to get good at what I was doing. And then on top of that, I had to make good decisions and stay on the field. Business became a big thing, and that's where Beyond the Beat becomes this amazing book. Beyond the Beat talks about how I went from student athlete to entrepreneur and why I went from sports to business. Why should you go from sports to business? Well, if you're like me and you're hyper competitive and you like to win and you like to see what other people are doing and you like to just be in the race, if you're like me and you like to be crazy and in the grind, then these are the books for you. They're going to make you a better person. They're going to make you more powerful. They're going to make you more equipped, and they're going to give you a bigger and better advantage. So be sure to buy my books, ladies and gentlemen. Also, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a review if you're listening to the podcast so we can support this show and keep helping it grow for other entrepreneurs just like yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I got nothing else. Stay prudent, stay powerful, and stay wealthy. Is there any good morning routines that you got before your day starts, before you start posting? What's your process, that mental process?
Yeah. I read, here's another great book that everybody likes, I think. David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. He always says, start with things that suck. And that really stuck with me. So I clean up a little. I mean, cleaning doesn't suck terribly, but it's not something I look forward to. So I clean up a little in the morning, like if there are dishes in the sink or, take the trash out or whatever, make the bed. And then I will read. I'll do like a self-help book and then a business book. I always have two of those going, and I'll read maybe like half an hour. And then I engage on other people's posts and network a little bit. That doesn't suck, but it's something that takes a lot of time that I have to do consistently or else I fall off.
Yeah. Speaking of books, you being a writer, have you thought about writing a book yet, or have you written a book?
I haven't written a book. I want to niche down a little more than where I am now. I do a lot of perspective, self-help type topics, and it's kind of all over the place. I want to niche down a little more on one subject, test it out on the socials and see if people relate to it, and then maybe write a book.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. Doing great stuff. I like it. I think you got a great future ahead of you. That's for sure. Yeah. That's for sure. What was something that you really had to work through going into this process, going into this lifestyle? What's a really hard thing you had to undertake or still have to undertake? This
is a ridiculous answer, but I think a lot of people would benefit from this. I had to do a time audit on myself because I kept feeling like, I don't have a lot of time to do all the things that I want to do. And then I look back and I see like one of my friends is doing this and, her PhD, and she has 2 kids and all this. And I'm like, I'm not doing all of that. Why don't I have time? I went and did a time audit on myself, and, I down to the minute saw how much time I was using socials when I was consuming, not creating, how much time I was watching TV. TV was a huge one, shockingly. How much time I was just kind of like wasting time playing video games or something. And doing that time audit and like having it on my laptop where I can see it and saying like, I'm not going to spend 3 hours a day watching TV, because that's what it was, like disgusting and shocking. I'm going to shift that to things that are going to make me better. So shifting your time is like a superpower. I always tell people, time audit, time audit, time audit. You will shock yourself and use it like it's your currency, like it's your money. You don't have endless time. Don't act like you do.
Yes, I think that's absolutely terrific advice. Right now, I'm actually timing myself, not just on the Zoom call, but on through Teamwork. I like to use Teamwork, and for my marketing agency as well. Typically, I'll use Teamwork to track everybody's time, but that's important. And then on social media alone, when I look on Instagram, when I see my screen time overall, and I'm just like, not too bad. But in the past, years ago, it was just like, it would be like 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours screen time. It's just like, you would never even realize. And there's all your 7 hours right there. That's a whole 7-hour workday right there. A lot of work gets done.
That's really scary to think about. And it's scary how the algorithm on some of them kind of sucks you in and you lose track of time. That is a scary thing to lose track of.
It's insane. For me, it's been Twitter X. That's been killing me lately. I usually check my social media at night. I try to get anything I can get done. I try to get it done throughout the day. In the morning, go for my workout. Then after that, I'll typically just work all day. And then at the end of the day, when I go to sleep, is finally when I'll go on social media. Maybe throughout the day, I'll go on Instagram a little bit, scroll, see some good advertisements, because that's all that pops up for me anymore. Yeah. But yep, you gotta Twitter X. I'll be scrolling through there for just. There was like last week, I caught myself like it was 2 hours. Again, it was at the end of the night. It was like 3 a.m. I had already worked all day. I let myself have some social media time, but still, I found myself I could not stop scrolling. There's endless amounts of entertainment and distractions and diversions. So it's definitely important. You do have to do that time audit and track yourself and make sure that you're holding yourself accountable to your goals.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is scary. There's that quote by Naval Ravikant that goes, I think it's Naval Ravikant, you can predict who you'll be in 5 years by what you consume, like reading, food, all that stuff.
Oh, and I agree.
I think that's a super, super important thing to think about when you're doing the time audit. Like, if I consume 3 hours of TV a day, what's that make me in the future? It makes me a couch potato. If I am using those 3 hours to write, what's that make me in the future? It makes me a great writer. It gives me much more opportunity. It gives me more free time to do other things that I want to enjoy. So super important to remember.
So who is kind of your inspiration? Who did you start watching and consuming and you're like, man, they remind me of me. I could do that. I could go and I could really do what they're doing. You don't have to say, because everybody's got their secret sauce and kind of so you don't have to say. But
no, it's not a secret. Curious. I will promote her forever. Her name is Hala Taha. I took her LinkedIn media class, and that really helped with the bravery of hitting send on that first post. She's really great. She does motivational and educational posts, kind of like what I do. Hers are way more motivational. And then who else? There are a ton of Cody Sanchez. Do you know who that is? I
do. She's a big business. She's a female business owner, but she buys businesses and whatnot. Again, another great way to make money, people.
Yeah. She is awesome.
I read all of her Twitter stuff. She's got a lot of great value.
Yeah,
Smart.
I don't know if she has like the best team in the world or like how she does it, but she is like a master social media grower. I don't think she started that long ago. But yeah, her stuff is awesome and super engaging, and she has a great audience. So I don't know if I like want to buy small businesses like her, but the way she's like super committed and consistent with her content is very inspiring. Definitely.
Yeah, she's everywhere. I see her everywhere for sure.
Yeah.
It's great.
All the time.
Yeah, for me, it was Gary Vaynerchuk was a big one for me. That was years ago, back in college. I was like a freshman in college. I'm just like, man, I'm just playing from football and baseball and I'm not making any money. Okay, I need to change my life. And everything kind of started writing my books and everything took off from there. But it's insane. It starts with an influencer. It's crazy to think that whether it's Gary Vee, whether it's Cody Sanchez, they had somebody who influenced them at one point.
I know.
I'd love to talk to them one day and kind of get their insight and see what they say. Like who influenced you? That's something I never hear them get asked in particular. Another one I liked was, for me personally, I liked Alex Hormozy, big gym guy. I grew up a lot of the same way. So that was kind of my inspiration. So that's why I asked that question. I think it's a very important thing that you have to find that influence. You got to find your own model and kind of do what they do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can follow in the footsteps, but you do have to have your own authenticity with it.
Absolutely. Yes, that's true too.
Yeah.
Yep. You got to have your own twist on things. You got to be yourself and kind of incorporate your own story into it. And then you got to take, like when I was on FTO and when I just got hired as a cop, every other cop would tell me, watch what every other cop does, but take what they do and make it into your own thing and become your own kind of officer. And I love that advice. And so I think that goes with anything too. I think that goes with anything for sure.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
Yep, 100%. So if you did get to meet anybody from the Vanderpump Rules cast, for example, who would you want to promote the most, and how would you go about promoting their social media?
Oh, that's a good
Put you on the spot here. I'm gonna challenge you. What's your strategy?
She's not my favorite character, but there's Sheena. I don't know her last name. Sheena Shea, I think it is. And I think she gets dogged on a lot, but I think it's super important, her way of going about things. She's like very soft and hard world. And I think that's strength. And I think that type of messaging is kind of coming around the corner. I think we're about the same age. We've probably seen how influence has changed so much just like through our lifetimes. Like the perfect female body used to be Paris Hilton, and then like 10 days later it was Kim Kardashian, and those are like two very different ideals. I think it's the same with how you treat people. I think it used to be kind of like it's cool to be a dick, and now it's kind of cool to be more open and accepting. And I think her softness in a hard world is like the next thing to come. So I think that would be a fun one to manage, because I think it's a good message. Yeah,
I'd seen, again, I was sent this, but I'd seen that she did this, what was it, like a Screamo thing? She did a Screamo theme. She did some Screamo song recently. Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it. Again, my mom sent it to me. I look on Instagram, I'm like, this Vanderpump Rules stuff again. And then I just start watching. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Oh, that's pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah. I think it was like her song. She made it Screamo, and it was pretty badass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Honestly, they're all killing it on that show. I can't believe how viral they've all been going. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I like what you said about the female body. It definitely has changed when it comes to standards, Went from
really
with Victoria's Secret, we were, a lot of the women, it was just completely unsustainable. Very, some of these women would get anorexia even. And so you put them through that. And then now we have like the Kim Kardashian, that hourglass kind of figure is the new thing. So I find that interesting. And where do you think that's going? Where do you think will be the new thing that is the accepted body type for the female?
Who knows? That happened like right around the time that would really affect me, that drastic change in like the 2-day time frame. So that is something that as a female, it's just like,
Yeah.
I don't care where it goes. I don't even
Gotta
want
be
to
tough. It's gotta be tough.
Yeah.
Oh man, I honestly I don't know how you women do it. You gotta give birth to babies. You gotta look good all the time, right? And now you gotta compete in the business world. It's tough, and
Lots of
so
paradoxes
I don't think
there.
you guys get enough credit. And I don't know. I mean, it's got to be tough. That's all I can say.
It's an interesting time out here.
Yeah, but you're out here killing it, and like I said, that's why I like to have really good people and great females like you on my show to show other females that, hey, you can get into business, you can get into entrepreneurship, and you can conquer your dreams if you really want it. If you have a vision, if you have that laser line focus, you can achieve anything you truly want. I think it's probably the most important thing that you can realize in this next upcoming decade, especially with AI and all of these insane things.
Right.
And I guess before we wrap this up, we got like 5 more minutes. I'll probably close in 5 minutes. But last question with AI. Well, we'll let you plug any products you want to too. But like last question, where do you think AI is going with copywriting and influencing social media? Where would you predict that's going, and how should you hedge against that? What kind of tools should you use to your advantage, or what is the best approach you think?
I think like ChatGPT, for example. I think using that as like a stepping stone or like a good place for notes is great, but I think the human touch should not be lost in writing. I see a lot of, especially on LinkedIn, the desperation to try to sound smart, and then you like just sounding like a robot makes you not sound smart. So you see a lot of those like very obvious ChatGPT written texts, and it's more fun to write. Just write what you want and be vulnerable. Like I think it's like kind of a shield for people. Some people just be vulnerable. That's where the best writing comes from. So I think, yes, it's a tool. It's a great tool. It's great for like analytical things. It's great for if you have like a spreadsheet and you want to like, it's great for analytics. I think creativity, you should stick to your guns, stay authentic, because it just gets all jumbly. Like it doesn't make, you've seen the post where it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And you're like, what are they trying to say?
Yeah. I feel like I've tried it. I feel like I've tried a lot of it. And with ChatGPT, I've noticed, I mean, you definitely can tell today, and it's everywhere. It's hi, comma, outstanding fans, exclamation mark. So excited to have you on my LinkedIn page, exclamation mark. And it's just like, oh, ChatGPT, I got you.
Yeah. It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I like to, don't get me wrong, I do like ChatGPT. I like Gemini. I like what it can do for you 100%. I'm a big fan of AI. I think you should use it to your advantage. I think, the iPhones are just like we used to read newspapers. Now we read the iPhone, Right. So I think a lot of it's just evolution, and it's a matter of just jumping on the train. But at the same time, with writing, there really is that human touch and that human connection. It's the one last thing we're going to have before Terminator 2 becomes a documentary. Yeah. So I think it's an important thing. It's a really big thing. I mean, more people than ever should be, getting into social media, getting into copyright, whatever it is, and really just studying your own writing and getting inside of your own mind. Write a book, or, challenge yourself a little bit and just read other books, whatever it is, but get good at writing and get good at, getting deep inside your own soul and putting that out there. Because I think people will respond in a positive way, whether it's right away or whether it's in 30 years. But I think eventually people will see that all kind of come together. The more genuine and true you are versus just using ChatGPT for every little thing.
Right.
And that's a big thing I see.
I agree. And you said something that reminded me, it's probably soul depleting to lose that creativity in yourself. Like you need to be creative. So don't let the robots do everything for you, because you'll get depressed. That's just a fact.
Absolutely. Well, Catherine, thank you for coming on the show. Like I've been telling all of my guests, I'll be getting a studio here soon. That's the plan. We're growing everything. We're expanding. So I'd like to have you on the show again for sure. Extend the interview a little bit and ask some more questions, get deeper on it. But before we leave, is there anything that you'd like to promote? Any products, any programs, anything?
I don't have anything to promote right now. You can follow me on Instagram at Tede _ or on LinkedIn, Catherine Tede.
Perfect. All righty. Okay, guys. Well, that's it. Thank you, Catherine, again for showing up on our show today and teaching everybody how to be great entrepreneurs, great business people, and just great people in general. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. We'll make it a great, I'll promote everything good and we'll do what we can.
Thank you.
Make it viral. All right. Take it easy. Thanks
That's what
again.
we go for.